we are assembling the Easter egg twist and pop. So I've got my pieces laid out. I'm going to start with my eggs because these are going to be pretty simple. I'm just going to ink the edges a little bit. My blue color here, I used a different brand of paper and it's kind of fuzzy. I don't like how it cut as well as I like the AC cardstock. So maybe inking it can come down these edges that didn't cut so well. And I'm going to ink the pink a little bit just to give it a little more definition. Now you don't have to add these panels if you don't want to. You can leave your eggs just plain. You can use a pattern sheet of paper or another color and just have that be your Easter egg. I wanted a little bit more with my eggs. Now what you're going to need to be careful of when you glue these on is that you don't go over the fold marks. And they are just slightly smaller, so they'll fit in between. But you will want to make sure that you're doing that you're not putting them over that fold line at all. It'll make them get in the way of the fold if you do. Okay? So especially on these two center ones, you'll have to really make sure you're getting in between the two fold lines. I think that inking it actually made these fuzzy places show up more. Let's try to pick those off. It was another name brand paper. I'm surprised it did that. So again, I'm just being very careful not to go over on those fold lines, because I don't want this to have any trouble folding up when it has to fold and twist inside the card. There we go. So when you fold this, you want the center to go up. So that's your mountain, and then the two sides are your valley, okay? That's important to make this card function correctly. So this is the centerpiece, and I use textured cardstock, so it matters for me which side is on the inside because the other side is smooth. So whichever side you want to be on the inside that you want to show, you'll fold this first mountain fold with the side you want to show when you open your card facing out on both sides, okay? So you fold it this way, and then you'll open it and flip it over. And then you fold each of your other lines down, okay? And this allows us to have this arrow with this in the center so that this opens and closes when it's opened. Okay. I don't know if you can tell that I have tape on mine. I tore it when I was messing with it, making sure that it worked. So then your eggs are going to go in here, but I think before I put this on, because it's easier to see before I glue it, before I glue this on, I'm going to put my panel pieces on my card. Okay. So these are optional as well. You can use a pattern paper for this insert here in your card, and then you wouldn't need another panel. If you just want to keep it plain, you want to use less paper, it's fine without it. I've made these cards without putting these pieces in, so it's that they're completely optional. But for this one, I did want to use it, so I cut them out this time. Now my glue bottle is going to start giving me trouble. Okay, I must have a clump of glue inside that's blocking my needle. So let's see if I can get it out. Hopefully that did it. Let's try this again. Okay. And if you're putting these on first, just make sure you stay on the outside of your fold marks. You don't want these interfering with the folding. And I also have this. Since I added a patterned piece of paper, I'm going to use my matte and my plain white for my sentiment inside the card. There we are. It's starting to plug again. Darn it. And then you just want to, this has a little bit of a border on each side. So just eyeball that. So for the twist mechanism, you glue one side on the top and one side on the bottom, and that allows your piece to twist. As you can see here where I'm not holding it, that folds down, and at the top that folds back. So you only fold on half, you only glue on half, I'm sorry. So I like to just hold this in place, and you're going to follow your score line. Do not glue below it or it won't function properly. This is very frustrating when my glue bottle wants to give me trouble. For Pete's sake. Let's see if, well, now I just lost my tip. Great. I have to go get that. Flew across the table. So we glue that at the top. Then we come over here to the other side, and we're going to glue this one on the bottom. And then I'm going to step over there and go retrieve my tip. Okay, so now this should close. And sometimes when you push it down, these pieces here pop out and they don't want to close. So you just push these in here. And you see there, see how that is not glued on the bottom or at the top on the opposite sides, and that allows it to close. Go get that lid. I heard it hit way over here. Take advantage of this being off for a minute, and I'm going to dig out this glue that keeps clogging everything up. I apologize for the delay here. There we go. I do hope that that has got it. Okay. All right. So this is the base. And this is going to sandwich right inside. You just want to kind of position it so that you've got the same amount of border going around, and then it's going to close. I'm going to hold this in place while I apply my glue. Hopefully I'll be applying glue. Yes. Moved, of course. So let's look at this again. And then to glue, then you have to glue the other side as well. Just going to open that up and apply your glue. Okay. There we are. Now, because this one matters, which way is the front and which way is the back because of the shape of the egg, I'm going to set it down like this. I'm going to put it under my lamp and let the weight of my lamp help that out a little bit. And then we're going to pull in this front of the card. So I decided that my eggs, this is a wreath. It has flowers and eggs and some willow branches. So I decided that my Easter eggs were going to be orange. So whatever color you want your eggs to be is a color that you want to cut the base here of the wreath, okay? So again, the base of the wreath is the color that you want your eggs to be. If you want them white, if you want them striped. And I am going to be popping up my flowers, so I'm just going to go ahead before I do anything with these. I've got my foam squares, they're actually rectangles, and I'm cutting them in fourths. And I'm going to go ahead and apply these to the back. I need one more. Okay. And the flowers are not symmetrical, so when you put them on, you're going to have to kind of move them around to see which way they fit on there, if it matters to you. I'm just going to ink the edges of these real quick. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and put these on. There we go. It's going a little slower than I thought it would. Okay. That's not the right one. There we are. And then it also has, it's almost like a cherry blossom, I guess, these are. So I'm just going to fold up the centers a little, because if it goes in an envelope, it's going to be squashed anyway. But I do want them kind of folded up. And I'm going to put my centers on. I'm just touching the edges of them with my oranging pad. I've cut them out in yellow. I'm putting my dot of glue on the flower. I'm just folding them up just with my fingers. That was probably too much glue. So this is the longest part of the card, as you can see. Doing the twist and pop part is not bad. It goes very quickly. But because that's such a simple design inside the card, I wanted the front to be a little more detailed, add a little more to it. Okay, almost done. We got one more to go. Then we also have some leaves and some willow branches. Now the willow branches I have already put together 3 of them. I do have one, so it comes in 2 pieces like this. You cut one in the color of the branch and the other one for the fluff. And just glue those together like that. And I'm not exactly sure where all I'm going to put these. There's 4. So you'll want them to be strategically placed around. Let me get these out of my way. There we go. And then we have some leaves. And I'm going to very quickly just ink them with some brown. My 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 1 leaf per flower. When I laid this out on my computer, I alternated one inside, one outside, one inside, one outside of the ring. So like I would put one there. You just need a little bit of glue on the edge of your petal, your leaf. And so I just kind of alternated. And after I put my leaves on, then I'm going to decide where I want my willow branches to be. And I'm just going to put some glue here on the end of my willow branch because I'm kind of sliding them in. You can arrange these any way you like, or not even include them if you don't want them. Okay, and then this just centers on your card. And I think I'm going to pop it up with some foam tape on this as well. And these little foam rectangles, I get it. I get at the Dollar Tree, and they are in the hardware section. So I'm going to put this on first. I never use foam squares much because they are so expensive. But once I found them at the Dollar Tree, well, that changed everything for me because it's a fairly big roll. I've probably used over half of that roll, and it's $1. This one came undone. Let me stick him back in here. I'm going to take the backings off this, and then my card is finished. So there's the front of the card. It almost doesn't look like eggs there. I guess I should have picked a different color. And then the inside. And this is the egg twist Easter card. Thank you for joining me.